Hello guys, it's been a while, it's been over a month since my last video. I have been really busy lately, lots of work here in Japan. But I have been watching one or two videos here and there about Flat Earth, and I have come across some videos about the AE map, and that's why I'm here today. I want to talk about the AE map. I want to defend this map. I want to defend the Gibson's map because this is the correct map of the flat earth, and I will show here my reasons why I believe this is the case, that the AE map, the Gibson's map, is the correct map. So we have here, some of you may have seen it, this was a map that was used during the Second World War. Okay, now if you pay attention to this map, if you come across this map on the internet, you can download. I downloaded this one, and I printed out, I laminated. So you see here, those are lines. Okay, now this map explains the strategy during the Second World War was the airplane. Okay, the aircraft. So that was the main strategy for them. So those lines show the routes that the airplane routes, okay, to all those islands in the Pacific or Europe, South America, and all over North America. Okay, very interesting. You must get hold of one of these maps and read what it says over here. Basically, on this part says that this is the AE map. It's a projection of the AE map. Okay. Now, why is this so important for us? Why? Because now, imagine if all the bombing and the pirate shooting that went on during the Second World War, imagine if the map wasn't correct. I mean, this guy, the Flat Earth a-hole, has been talking about this is a wrong map. But listen, if he probably doesn't understand much or doesn't read much. Now, can you imagine all the missions during the Second World War if there was no map or if the map was wrong? Can you imagine, like, the bombing here of Hiroshima? My daughter was there a month ago visiting. I'm going to show you the picture. Okay, my daughter was visiting Hiroshima about a month ago, and this is a picture of her classroom. You know, it was a school trip, and this is a symbol of Japan in Hiroshima, very beautiful. So imagine if the map was wrong, if the AE map was wrong, as this guy is keeping saying, and then they say, oh man, we were supposed to drop that bomb over Hiroshima, and instead we dropped over Manila because the map was wrong, or over Korea because the map was wrong. No, they hit it on target because the map was right. I want you to take a look at these missions, flight missions over the Pacific theater during the Second World War. That would not be possible if this map wasn't correct. Now look at the airborne, look at the soldiers being parachuted over the Philippines.
The first landing is at 09:10 in bright sunshine and without enemy opposition. Supplies and men are dropped at the same time. Objective is to have the paratroopers join in the final battle of the Cagayan Valley, where an estimated 20,000 enemy soldiers are trapped. The jump troops are veterans of the Manila campaign and are to make contact with the guerrillas already in the area. Reinforcement of the guerrillas will tighten the hold on the northern end of the valley, while elements of the 37th Division drive up from the south.
And this one over Germany.
To speed the advances of Eisenhower's great army groups under Montgomery, Bradley, and Evers, 1,500 troop-carrying planes are off. From both sides of their big transports, American paratroops spill out.
And how about now over New Guinea, which is down here close to Australia?
General MacArthur, in the leading transport, goes to personally direct the combined assault. From the gunner's position, he sees his medium bombers lay a smoke screen over the enemy landing field. Action on schedule. Everything according to plan. Now, from the planes, supplies and equipment are dropped as the airborne striking force, men and weapons, fills the sky with their parachutes.
Only possible because they had a map. They knew how to get there. And the last one over Normandy. This is the footage of the D-Day Normandy during the Second World War. You see here in the video they are being parachuted over Normandy. Now can you imagine if instead of Normandy they were actually being parachuted over Sicily in Italy, or Azores, Portugal, because they had the wrong map? Now, the AE map is correct. Alright, so I have come across some guys who support the AE map, because what makes this map accurate are the flight paths. Okay, that's why I am showing you this short video, because I live in Japan and I have a student. She's Japanese. She's married to a guy from Peru. So when they travel to Peru, it's a hassle because they sometimes have to fly over to the Middle East, you know, Dubai. And when they go through North America, I was surprised when they had to fly over Russia. And, you know, if you look on the globe, there's no way, because Japan is here. You fly east to go to, Japan fly east goes over the Pacific and the United States, as this map here shows. But instead, they flew over Russia. Okay, so please watch this video. So when we look at this flight from Japan to Lima, Peru, we look at how the companies, they publish the picture like this, like if you could fly actually over the Pacific Ocean straight to Lima, Peru. Okay, that's what you would find in a website like I did. But let's check the reality of this claim. Let's look at this picture, this first flight here. This is a flight from Tokyo to Lima by Air Canada. As you see here, it goes from Tokyo to Toronto, and then from Toronto to New York, New York to Lima. This is Japan right there, Japan. So from Japan to Toronto right here, and then to Lima. From Lima right here to Japan, stopping Canada, Toronto, right there. And when we look at this flight, this next one is from Tokyo to Atlanta by Delta, then Atlanta to Lima. Japan, Atlanta, Peru. Alright, let's look at another flight. This is Tokyo, Houston, Houston, Lima. Alright, Japan here, Houston, somewhere here, Peru, Japan, Houston, United States, Peru. Well, Jake, in one of his videos, he said that the sun does not circle over the flat earth. He even made fun of some of us who points out, you know, the sun going over the flat earth like this, which is basically what it happens. So for this one, I'm gonna show you this video from about it's the time lapse over the Arctic, and this is the midnight sun, proving that the sun circles over the flat earth. Let me give credit for those who deserve. This video I got from iFirst, that's Eric Dubé's website, and there he shows this time-lapse video of the sun over the Arctic. That's the midnight sun that proves the Earth is flat and not spinning, and it's well documented as far back as 1870. The Brighton Examiner, it's a newspaper, that reported the United States ambassador to Norway, Mr. Campbell, described his experience witnessing the midnight sun with a group of gentlemen on a cliff 1,000 feet above the Arctic Sea at the 69th North parallel. So this video, it's a time-lapse of the sun circling the center pole or the North Pole over the Arctic. Okay, so it shows that the sun circles around the flat Earth, just like all the researchers from the 18th and 19th century demonstrated and proved. These are some of the pictures showing the 24-hour sun over the Arctic, proving that the Gibson's map and the AE map are correct when we say that the sun circles over it, giving us the seasons of the year. So Jake, he came up with this question. I mean, he made a very crazy video screaming, and he criticized the marble. And I felt like, well, what did he do to Jake in order for him to, do what he did? So in support of the marble, I even decided to buy one of his t-shirts, and I asked him to make sure I got the one with AE map printed on, because I believe this is the correct map of the flat Earth. Now, he came up with this question.
So, here's Tasmania, here's Cape Town, and here's Ushuaia. Now, here's the portion of the Earth that's nighttime. How can it be light right now in Tasmania, light right now in Ushuaia, but not in the North Pole? How can it be light here, but be dark right here?
Okay, Jake, so how could be light here, here, and be dark right here? That's our question. All right, Jake, how can be light here, but not right here in the middle? How can this be? This is the Great American Eclipse of 2017. So Jake, how can there be light in this corner right here, light in this corner right here, light here, but not light in the middle? Right? So Jake, you don't understand how the luminaries work. We don't understand. We don't know. Right? Now look at this image right here. So look at this image right here. This is a coffee mug, and you see the light is right here being reflected, and then look at the effect that it causes, because this is not the light source. This is the reflex of the light, and look at the effect. You see light in one end, light at the other end, light on this side, but not really light in the middle. So, not very different from the image that you had before. Okay, they all look like a crescent moon, all these three images, because we don't know how light works. Now, to explain this, we have to go back to a quote from 1904 by Carl A. Smith, who said, "Now, if we want to ascertain the shape of the floor of any large room, we get down to the floor itself and do not go about measuring the gas globes or spots on the ceiling. So it's with respect to the Earth To determine its shape, we take observations of its surface. For whatever be the shape of the heavenly bodies made only for lights, they cannot in any way affect the surface shape of the earth. So we don't really know how the luminaries work. We can't assume that the shape of the earth, the map may be wrong just because the luminaries do not work according to what we think they should do. We don't know how the luminaries work. I want to also give credit. This is from Jeranism. He had this video. So I want you to show you this. Pay attention to that. Okay, this is the image we were talking about. Jera has this video, really cool. You go to the Saltire software website, and this is where the light source is. You see all the different effects that the light source causes as it hits the border of the cup. You see here, the lighter part is where actually the shade would be, and the light is on the outer side. You see the interesting shape, very similar to the one that Jacob was pointing out when he was showing light source in Ushuaia, South America, and Australia and South Africa at the same time. So it's just like in this effect on the coffee cup, you see here more examples there of light inside, and here other patterns, all caused by the light hitting the edge or the outer side. And here is the image that they were pointing out and we were talking about, very similar to each other. I want to show another proof that the sun really circles over the flat earth, and we will look at some of the eclipses that have happened in the past and some of them that will be happening in the future. If you connect them, see the eclipse lines, it will show the circle. This is also a video that was online. I couldn't find the person who made it. I want to give credit to the person, but I don't know who made it, this video. But this is very interesting. I want you to pay attention. Okay, we see here the path of 3 eclipses in different times of the year. You see the one that goes from South America to Africa. It goes from Argentina, across the Atlantic Ocean, Congo, Red Sea. Then we have another one that starts in Africa, goes through the Red Sea, India, and South China. And the last one that goes over the Pacific Ocean, over Caroline Islands. Now you throw all this info on the Gibson's map, and this is what we get. The same cities, same places: Argentina, Atlantic Ocean, Congo, Red Sea, India, South China, Hong Kong, Caroline Island. But you can see here clearly that it shows a circle on top of the Gibson's map, because this is the circuit of the sun and the moon. It's not a perfect circle like we thought it would be on top over the Capricorn, Tropic of Capricorn, or over the equator, or over the Tropic of Cancer, but it's still going in circles. And what we can see is that the sun performs its own circuit according to where whatever it's supposed to do. Now let's look at another one. This image here shows the path of 3 other eclipses. One on July 22nd, 2009. Then on November 3rd, 2013. And the next one that will happen on April 8th, 2024. It goes like a zigzag, but this is not what happens. So let's throw out this info on the Gibson's map. And this is what we have. We have here exactly the same path, but you see on a circle. Not a perfect circle, again, as we say, but it's still the sun and the moon perform a circuit over the flat earth. And we throw everything here on the Gibson's map. That's what we have. The one that happened on March 9, 2016. And the one that will happen on April 8th, 2024. and the one that's going to happen on August 27, 2027. You see the cities: Mexico, New Orleans, New York, Newfoundland, Spain, Libya, Red Sea, Diego Garcia, Sumatra, Borneo, Luwak, Caroline Islands. Let's throw all these cities. Let's look on the Gleason's map. That's what we have. Okay, same cities, same places. And we see that the path of the sun and the moon is a circle, okay? And they circle over the flat earth. Not a perfect circle, one more time saying again. They don't go exactly over the tropics, but they still go in circle. We don't know exactly the path of the sun and the moon. Exactly, like I believe, it's my belief, the sun and the moon, they circle around the flat earth, but they do their own path according to it was designed for them to do. All right, the last part that I want to talk about this map. Well, some people bring up the distance between Australia and Santiago, Chile. And sometimes they bring this up as proof that this map may be wrong. But on the opposite side, I think that this map is correct. We need to look at the speed of some of these flights. So let's look at this video. Okay, this is a flight, Air Canada 878 from Toronto to Zurich. This is a flight that flies at 725 miles per hour. Okay, Toronto to Zurich. This one, JetBlue B61128, flies at 778 miles per hour. Considering this is a domestic flight, flies from Orlando, I guess, to Chicago, and it flies at 778 miles per hour. Now, Egypt Air MS-648 flies from Riyadh to Cairo at 803 miles per hour. Now here we have another Egypt Air. This is a cargo flight, and this flight flies at 832 miles per hour. Pretty impressive. They have this Sydney to Santiago flight at 560 miles per hour. Now, how come this is a way longer flight and flies at a lesser speed? So if you go back, you look at the one, the Cairo to Riyadh, Cairo at 803 miles per hour. That's almost 300 miles more per hour than this flight, Sydney to Santiago. Now, on some of the sites, they have this flight, Sydney to Santiago, at only 500 miles per hour. So you may think, is it really true? Like, are these flights really flying at such a low speed, and when all the other flights are flying at a much higher speed? If you recall, the JetBlue flies at 700 and almost 750 miles per hour, which is a domestic flight. So I don't really buy it. I don't think this is true. And let's look at Alan Joyce. He is the CEO of Qantas Airlines. He is a member of the Royal Aeronautical Society, and which is in fact one of the branches of the Royal Society, which was founded by Freemasons. So Mr. Allen got a pie on his face not long ago because his instance of gay marriage. He defends gay marriage. I believe he himself lives with a partner.
Now, it's been 6 months since I've been here to announce the Get the heck.
All right, as you see here, we don't really know how fast those aircraft fly from Australia to South America. So I got some questions to the Flat Earth a-hole. So Jake, don't you think it's wrong for you to be, requesting money from people and then backstabbing them, because if I had donated to you before, I would be very disappointed right now, because you are going against people who believe this is the correct map. But we have evidence to believe this is the correct map. Okay, lots of evidences, ground evidences, surface. Not talking about the luminaries, because we don't know how they work. Don't you think it's wrong that for you to assume that this map is not correct just because you don't understand how the luminaries work?
Ah la 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 la. No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Ah la la la.
Don't you think it's wrong for you to go after people who, like the Marble, who did nothing wrong to you, and he's only making his t-shirts and selling, and I'm buying because I want to, I want to buy. I believe it. This is the correct map, so I want to buy. I have the money. I don't have to be asking money like you do most of the time. And don't you think it's wrong?
Ah la 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 la. No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Ah la la la.
Now, Jake, I've watched your videos before. I really enjoyed. I had a lot of fun watching your videos. You were very smart, but you have changed. That's a fact. I mean, you are a different person. Maybe because of this.
So, Cody Greer just broke the chat record and sent me $250. $250 from Cody Greer. Holy shit, dude. You guys are gonna put me up in style, man. I'll be staying at the Holiday Inn and ordering room service and shit if this keeps up, man. Raiding the minibar and shit.
Maybe the time you spent with this guy made you change, because you've become a different person. And last time I watched your video, the live debunking of the AE map, I felt sick, man. I mean, it was terrible watching you. You looked like you were possessed, and I mean, you have like a evilish, face. I mean, don't you think this stuff that you're doing, going after other flat earthers, why are you doing this stuff? Because, I mean, there are probably 10 billion, 5 billion, there are probably 5 billion globe earthers out there, and maybe 5,000 flat earthers, and you coming after flat earthers, And we have good information about this map. I was looking at the thread of one of your videos, and a lot of people were like saying Robotham was a shill or Gibson was a shill. I mean, these guys spend their lives, Robotham spent over 30 years, and he not only researching, but he spent his own money doing this stuff. He wasn't requesting money like you're doing. And now, don't you think those guys deserve credit for all their work and the wealth of knowledge they left us? They gave us a lot of knowledge of their research and their resources. Don't you think it's wrong for you to go attacking their work?
Ah la 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 la. No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Ah la la la.
They have been doing this for 30 years or, over the lifetime, not 3 months. Because every 3 months you change. You're a different person. 3 months ago you were something else. 6 months ago you were somebody. So how can I, as a businessman, okay, how could I invest in a company that keeps changing their products every 3 months? So how can I donate money to you if every 3 months you are a different person? Like you were one person at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year 2017, you were somebody different. Now at the end of the year, you unrecognizable. So I mean, you can't be like a tumbleweed. That the wind blows from one side to the other. You need to stand firm. Are you a globe? I don't know if you believe in the globe or what, because I don't know. All right, so guys, I want to close this video. I want to wish you guys a happy 2018, a flat 2018. I don't know when I will be making another video. I have been really busy Lots of work here, and I wish you guys all the best. I wish you, that your families are doing well, and that you guys be healthy, take good care of yourselves. 2018, keep flat. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.